Everyone, my name is Jerricca Mora, and today I'm going to talk to you about climate change. Could you imagine a world with no Arctic, no glaciers, and no snow caps atop mountains? Think about increased flooding on the coast and islands disappearing, such as peninsulas like the Outer Banks. Consider an ocean with no fish or coral reefs. Imagine more intense atmospheric weather occurrences like hurricanes and tornadoes. These are all real consequences of climate change. Climate change is the increase of the overall temperature of Earth, which is then causing catastrophic damages to the place we all call home. Climate change seems to be a simple concept, but is a highly discussed topic in the sciences. Climate change is the change in climate caused by certain human activities altering the composition of the atmosphere. This is contributing to the greenhouse gas effect. Greenhouse gases are the gases that get trapped in the atmosphere and cause the temperature to rise. The gases emitted are water vapor, nitrous oxide, methane, and carbon dioxide, or CO2. Now, with humans burning more fossil fuels to keep up with technology and transportation, like our cars, electricity for our homes, that sort of thing, the carbon and the oxygen that are being burned into the atmosphere are creating carbon dioxide, CO2. This CO2 can't escape the atmosphere, so it's just collecting up there. So with these greenhouse gases sitting up there, we're creating climate change. But it's also important to realize that it's just not CO2 contributing to climate change. There's also some small factors that also contribute to these, and that is Earth's orbit, sun intensity, ocean currents, volcanic emissions, and then greenhouse gas. But scientists are more worried about the greenhouse gases because that's something that's pretty much humanly made, with our fossil fuels burning, oil, gas, blah blah blah. So that's why scientists are concerned, because we're creating that. We can't do anything about the ocean currents, volcanic emissions, the sun intensity, or the Earth's orbit. No one can fix that, but we can worry about climate change. So with climate change, we're seeing a lot of effects to the Earth. So according to NASA, the long-term effects of climate change include temperature rise, frost-free seasons, changes in precipitation, more droughts and heat waves, stronger natural disasters, sea level rise and ocean acidification, and the melting of the Arctic. Those last two are pretty big, seeing as the Earth is made up of more water than it is land, and the Arctic is melting, which has been seen and kind of scary. So, with sea level rise, we're seeing that the oceans are expanding and the water has nowhere to go. So with this, we're seeing land erosion, we're seeing different animal extinctions and stuff, but that's more with ocean acidification. Ocean acidification is where the carbon dioxide is absorbed into the ocean, and through a chemical process, I'm not a chemist, so I can't tell you that, but through a chemical reaction makes the ocean acidic instead of alkaline. So with all this acid in the water, it is causing killing and extinctions of ecosystems and bleaching of coral reefs. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Great Barrier Reef is dying because of coral bleaching. And so these reefs are home to many different fish and ocean creatures, and they're becoming extinct because their home is extinct. And also with ocean rise, we're seeing a land erosion. Our lands, they're eroding, they're slowly eroding. Islands are disappearing because, well, they have nowhere to go. The water's eating it. So along with ocean rise, we're also seeing glaciers are melting at a very alarming rate. Scientists are retrieving data showing that the Arctic has had record-breaking days of heat. The Arctic is one of the coldest places on the planet and has seen days above freezing, which is kind of scary. All this information is from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, who have been studying this since the 1900s of the melting, keeping record of everything, and just watching how it's all melting. They said that the average annual surface of air temperature anomaly over land north of 60 degrees north, so North Pole, for the 2016-2017 year was the second highest in the observational record beginning in the 1900s. Arctic air temperature contains an increase at double the rate of the global mean air temperature increase. Nearly every mountain glacier on the planet is slowly melting due to climate change at a rate of 10 meters per year. Glaciers are receding at a much faster pace than scientists once thought. Unlike other effects of climate change, we can see this. We can see the Arctic melting. We can see the glaciers melting. We can see glaciers disappearing instead of, all together. Fun fact, I actually went to Alaska and stood on a glacier, and in their museum that they had at the bottom of the glacier, they had before and after pictures of what the glacier looked like in 1948 and what the glacier looked like in 2017. And it's pretty staggering to see that it is, I think they said 3 to 4 miles have shrunk within that period of time of melting due to climate change. We're seeing glaciers melting, the ocean rise, we're seeing catastrophic weather occurrences with climate change. So the next question would be, is there a way we can solve climate change? The simple answer is yes and no. Yes, we can cut down ways to end climate change, but I don't think climate change is ever going to end because I don't foresee us living without our electricity or natural gas. I don't foresee cars ever disappearing. We rely too heavily on that. But I did conduct an interview with a NASA Langley scientist, Dr. Boehner, and she did mention, things about going green. Can you bike to work? Can you walk to work? Can you bike certain things? Can you walk certain things? Is your house up to date with energy efficient appliances? Turn off your lights when you're done, when you're not in use. Just going green, recycle, reuse. So all those things are helping the planet. With climate change, I think it's also important to realize that about half of the scientists' scholarly journals that I read, half of them believe that climate change may be slightly naturally occurring, that a lot of them think that although it's warming right now, we might be hitting a cooling period soon where we'll see these numbers drop and things will, the Arctic will start to refreeze because the temperatures will be cold again. But that's still pretty far off. I think it's also important to know that while some people think that climate change is a hoax, climate change isn't real, etc., I think it's important to just go green personally, whether you believe it or not. It's good for everybody. Going green, recycle, having energy efficient bulbs. If I could walk to the store or a doctor's appointment or something that's close by, just to help the planet. We only get one Earth, and why don't we make sure that it's as clean as it can be, so less animals are dying of extinction and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little speech on climate change and that I maybe jogged your brain into thinking about climate change and going green. And thanks for watching.